Welcome to Roots and Peaks. Today we're going to talk about 10 pieces of backpacking gear that you absolutely don't need. I have to apologize about not being outdoors, being in this basement for this video, but it has been raining like cats and dogs in New England, and so this is where you got me. Before we get to number 10, I need to ask you a favor. Would you please consider hitting the subscribe button or the like button? Either of those things really helps out the channel. Thank you so much. Okay, number 10. You absolutely don't need a poop kit and a trowel. And this isn't poop, I don't think. I think it's just soil. This is a Bogler trowel. Yeah, that's probably soil. That's right, you don't need a poop kit if you don't care about the environment. Because pooping out in nature and not burying it properly is really bad for the environment. So, I guess you don't need a poop kit. Number 9, you don't need a way to navigate, like a Garmin InReach, or a paper map, or a watch or your phone. I mean, unless you want to get to and from your location safely. So, you don't need it. I'm not gonna throw the InReach, it's really expensive. Number 8, you can skip fresh water and a filter. Because, really, who needs to drink water? I mean, the only reason you would drink water and have clean water as opposed to water that you find along the trail is because you don't want to die. So you don't need fresh water. Number 7, you don't need a first aid kit. In fact, you don't need it so much that I don't even have one here to show you, like the Adventure Medical Kit .7. You don't need it. You know why? Because if you get cut or you need a tourniquet and you don't have it, you just bleed out. No big deal. So you don't need it. Pretend there's something here. Number 6, you definitely don't need shoes. Especially like these Hoka Speedgoat 5s. Let's just get rid of them right now. You don't need shoes because your feet were made to walk in nature. And that is, it's true. But if you don't have shoes, your feet are going to be real uncomfortable. So you don't need them. Number 5, when you're backpacking, you don't need a plan. Using an app like AllTrails or OnX, you don't need that. You don't need to use your paper map and draw out where you're gonna go, and you certainly don't need to leave that plan with people who care about you. Because who cares? And number 4, you don't have a plan, you also don't need clothes. You should definitely not buy clothes from a brand like Virgin because they're good quality clothes and you don't need clothes. You can just go without clothes. And you don't need to regulate your temperature with sweatshirts or nice water wicking pants and shirts. Definitely don't check out Virgin. Woo! Don't need it. Number 3, you certainly don't need a backpack like the CS40 from Outdoor Vitals. I don't have that backpack, but I do have their shadow light behind me. You don't need a backpack like that. In fact, if you want to learn a little bit more about backpacks that you don't need, you can click that link. But in the meantime, just know you don't need it. People have been getting by for generations with hobo sticks or plastic bags. Why don't you do that? That seems much more reasonable. Number 2, you definitely don't need a tent like this X-Mid. Because why would you need a tent? As you all know, we were meant to sleep under the stars, especially if it's raining and cold. So you get rid of this. I know you've all been waiting for it. The number 1 thing that you don't need is food and a way to prepare it, especially something like the Crotch Pot from Gossamer Gear. Kyle Hates Hiking loves it. Check out his video below. The Crotch Pot is a thing that you put in your pants to heat up your food. So you actually don't need that one. But you do need food.
Definitely had some leakage. That's a good looking dinner.
No, you don't. You don't need food because you don't need to sustain yourself on your backpacking trip. All right, so that was 10 pieces of gear that you definitely don't need to bring with you on your next backpacking trip. Especially if you don't care if you live. Do you have other things that you could add to this list that you definitely don't need? Leave them in the comments below. Also, if you would, subscribe to my channel because I want to get monetized so I can send my kids to college. Too much truth? sorry. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one. Barley, we're back. We're back. You excited? You excited?